Hello everyone, I am Rex Red and welcome to another EZ3DTV tutorial. Today we are going to create a landscape in Bryce 7 Pro and we're going to bring it into Ultra Scenery 2 and we're going to show you the power of working with that really old program Bryce 7 Pro and a feature that it has for creating creating landscapes, creating black and white image depth height maps in Bryce 7 Pro. This is something I have been doing in Bryce for like 20 years. And so it's something that I'm quite familiar with. I've never really brought a height map into Ultra Scenery 2 because it's all new and everything, but it's something that we're going to explore and have some fun with today, okay? And I'm going to show you, and we may also create an HDRI in Bryce 7 and bring that also into our Ultra Scenery 2. So it just gives you shows you how you can create certain elements of your scene in Bryce 7. So here we go. Without too much introduction, let's get into it. Okay, so I am in Bryce 7 Pro, and what we want to do is kind of start off with a landscape, okay? And so we click this. Let me turn on my little circular thing here, thingy, so that we can have some indication of where my mouse is. It makes it easier for you all to see. I'm on. And so what we do is we bring this, you click on this piece of land icon here, and it puts your landscape into the scene. And then we just click on this little E right here. Notice this E. You click on the E. And look what we have here, okay? And this is where it takes a little bit of art to kind of change things. All right. And this, what that is, I don't know. All right, we're going to cancel out. This is the thing about, if you mess up, just cancel out and come back in, and it will, just don't click the X and save it, okay? And it will, I think what that is the leveling. Okay. So we have these tools here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some kind of gray color. Let's see what color we have. Okay, that's kind of like a gray. I'm going to get like a black color. Where is our color? Here it is. And so we're going to bring this down to black. And what we're going to do, why isn't that black? Oh, there's black, okay. Is we're going to do this kind of thing here like this. And what that does is it gives us a little bit. See, you have a mountain here. And I think that's kind of good right there. And so now what we do is we come here and here, I think. No, where is it? Elevation. So it's been a long time since I've done this. And we go here, okay, export image. Set preview size. Let's, I I think the last time, this is just the preview size, so we're going to bring that down a little so we can kind of work with this. And then when we go here to visible brush, solid, smooth, export image. And this would be a PNG on the desktop, which is very important. Now, there's something else here that we're missing. Because there's a way, what's this, export? Okay, that's a 3D Studio. Terrain, mesh export. Okay, we don't want to do that. We just want to export. Now there's a way to, what I like about this is how jagged this is. It's not kind of smooth, but it's very jagged. And now we could take and add just a little bit of gray in here, maybe. No, I don't think that's too much. We can undo that. That's good. Let's go a little darker, like this. Okay, it gives us a little bit of a staging area here. Okay. And welcome, people. Angus, you are here. Welcome, dear friend. The first one to our chat. Let me go here to one, and I'm going to do the live chat so we don't miss people. Welcome. We've had 2 views. Somebody just came and left. It's like, I haven't got time for this. All right. Just kidding. All right. So we're going back here. Now, there is a way. Now, this is odd that we have this here. Okay. Elevation. Okay. Filtering. Pictures. Okay. Somewhere in here, I believe there was a way to set the resolution of this. Okay, it looks like we've got some kind of, maybe a storm coming. I have Windows like telling me foreboding information here. So, this crop fit. What's this? Not sure what that is. Elevation, brush behavior, and I know I already tried that. There was something in here that allowed you to change the size of the image, and that may have to do with the size of the project, but I don't think it is. All right, let's just try to export it. I think it might happen when I go to export the PNG. Okay, so this would be, okay. Okay, so we're going to save this on the desktop as, we'll call this Bryce Landscape 1. Okay, well, let's call Bryce Distant Mountains. Mountains.png desktop. All right, so we're going to open Bryce. We're going to open Daz now. See what we have here. And okay. I know there is a way to set the resolution of the mountain, and I didn't find it there. Okay, let's go back into Bryce. Here, We have Bryce open. Let's just kind of play with this for a minute. Let's click apply. Go like that. All right. And now when we go, I believe our mountain. There's our material. Okay. We're going to use the Bryce materials. What's this? Brush editor. Instance, plane 1. Okay, seed randomness. And instant. Okay, see where it says size? Okay, this is a brush editor. This is different. Okay, X, we're going to go out of that. Something I didn't even realize was there. I've seen it before, but I just have never used it. Okay. And this is our material editor where we can just put a preset kind of material on it. We go back in here. What's this? Oh, here we go. Here we go. So this is ultra fine. This is massive resolution. Gigantic resolution. Can we do that? Can we go with gigantic resolution? And then we go here, up here, export image, and then we go here to our PNG again. Okay, let's just call this Bryce. Bryce. PE. Massive. All right, Bryce landscape massive. Let's save this in our okay, this is my desktop. We'll just save it here. Massive, save. That took him a good moment to save. Okay. So now we come here. We go to Ultra Scenery. Now I'm more like inclined to use Ultra Scenery XT for this, but let's just try it with Ultra Scenery for now. So see where we get into now this Ultra Scenery here. Let's save the location. Now you see we have this map. This is the map that's like it's giving us a kind of default seed. The seed would be somewhere in here. Let's save location, browse, and we'll go up one. And let's call this Bryce new folder. Bryce Bryce landscape. Okay. And we click that and go here and select that folder, and that's going to be the folder where it's going to save all of our files. And so now instead of the erosion hills, okay, now we have no land, we're going to go here to height map. See that? We're going to select that, image file, browse, and we're going to go here to Bryce. No, that would be on our desktop. Bryce. And this is the massive one. And this is not quite what I expected, okay, because it's just not as quite as jagged as I thought it was going to be. It's not as tall as I thought it was going to be. So something is rounding it, something is eroding it, I think. Let's see if we have anything else turned on here. Okay, height map is here. Okay, gamma. Mix strength. We don't want any mix with this. Oh, I guess we do. Mixed strength. Now, what we don't have here is a human in here to give us a perspective. So let's put a human in. Genesis 8 male, I guess. Will work. Did I do it? Okay, this may not be an actual... Oh, those are poses. Okay, let's get figures. Let's go 9 figure. Why are we using 8? We'll use Dalton today. And if he's little teeny, well, at least we've got some kind of a mountain. I expected this to be really, really huge. Okay, but it's probably not because of the size of land that we've chosen. So we're going to try another thing. And we're going to try putting this height map on our Ultra Scenery XT. Okay, so let's see if our guy is like little teeny. No, he's kind of big. So this, in my opinion, didn't work. Okay, because I expected it to be a big mountain. Okay, but it's just... But I guess it's because this Bryce piece of land is kind of small. I mean, this ultra scenery, it's only a small kind of piece of land. You can't really put a mountain in it. So, but it did give us a kind of interesting, it gave us land. Okay. So, and we're not using any other kind of map along with this, just this. So, let's put some pants on Dalton. Scripts. Underwear. Let's try again. Scripts. Shorts. There we go. And so now we have Dalton here and we have a perspective. So we're going to go to Ultra Scenery XT. We're going to add this in. 512 resolution. And now the terrain maps, we're going to save. Okay, we got to take, it's going to take a moment to put this in. And there we go. And it's much higher than, okay, we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to click browse and find our save location again. And we'll go, this is Bryce landscape. We don't want it in there. We're going to create a new folder and this is going to be called Bryce XT. Landscape, and we'll put all of these files in this folder. All right, and then we're going to turn off the noise, erosion, and we're going to go to our height map here, and we're going to find this file, browse to the desktop. We're going to go Bryce, massive, and that's a little bit more kind of what I was expecting, and I kind of like it. All right, so now we can do the gamma thing. And that's not bad looking. It kind of, we got this little kind of mountain going to here, and then way in the back we've got a big mountain. This isn't bad, people. Look at what we've got, and this is what Bryce has given us. Okay, Bryce has given us. Now we could take this and this resolution, what if we go with 256? Okay, it smoothed it out a little bit more than I kind of wanted it to, 512. But that's kind of nice right there. There's 512 into 1024. Let's see if this will even load this. Wow. See now, this is kind of nice. Look at the detail we're getting out of this Bryce map. Okay? And that may be also the problem with this Ultra Scenery 2. Okay, let's go back to Ultra Scenery 2. Is that if we bring our resolution up to 512, yeah, see now we have a little bit more resolution in our ground as well. So this is not bad. Let's kind of keep this. Now what we do is we pick a color for the ground, like for the ground. So let's go back to Ultra Scenery XT. This is a little confusing. I apologize. This is the material, but let's see. We got other materials. We have to actually put it on there. Okay, let's go to our render settings. General, render. Okay, okay, we're at 1,000. That's good. Okay, so let's try rendering this and see what the land looks like. It's going to be all gray because we don't have an HDRI in here. Welcome to you and the lovely hinterlands, Angus. Welcome, welcome. Wow, that's kind of weird looking ground there. Now, we can still alter this map. It's just extremely strange looking. Yeah, very strange looking ground. Mountains. So, what we do is we can take now this, let's go to Ultra Scenery. We are in XT. Let's see what we can do here to kind of change the height map a little bit. Erosion. All right, that was kind of nice. Take the steep limit up a little bit. See what that does. Well, I thought that was going to make it larger. Volume. Let's go to width. Distance. I just don't know what any of these do, really. It's all, these are things that I've just not kind of learned how to use too well. All right. Let's see what this looks like now in our render. It's probably going to look a little less alien. So we'll see how this works. Okay. Oh. Where is our render? Here it is. Well, you're going to let us see it? No. Well, alternate tab usually fixes it. Okay, let's close Bryce. Bryce could be Bryce is just a messed up program. Even though it works, it can just mess everything up. Don't save. We'll 86 that. Alternate tab. What is this? That this. Quit. I think that was from Bryce. Can we see our render, please? Nope, we can't. It just won't show us our render. So can we stop the render here? How do we stop it? I don't even, it's not even showing us. It's that it's even rendering. I think something went wrong. Okay, so let's try to render it again. And if we can close that, we'll be doing well. It may have just had a problem rendering with Bryce open. I wonder if one of these days they'll just do a few things to fix Bryce up, which I think in order to do that, you know, it would require a team of people to working on. That's not bad right there. That's not a bad mountain. It's kind of, it gives you a kind of idea of what you can do to make a mountain here and this is our oh, what is that? This is our Ultra Scenery XT in the background. And so we just got this guy here to give us a perspective on how things look. Okay, so we can put our grass in here. We can put all that. We can put trees on that. We can do our background. Let's save this. And this is going to be called Bryce Ultra Scenery 2 and XT. We'll do that like that. 2 and XT. Let's kind of do some fun stuff with this. All right, let's go back into Bryce, okay? BRYCE. Let's open Bryce again. Let's tempt fate. And in Bryce, we are going to create an HDRI. I don't know that it will actually save it as an HDRI. I think it might actually, but let's, I think it would be a 3, we can certainly create an HDRI in, it might be here. Yeah, it would be cinematic. What would be default panoramic 3D 360-degree panoramic projection. Let's put our sky in first. So we go to sky and fog. We click here and we go to fantasy. Let's try fantasy. And we got all these skies in here. Oh, look at this. This is kind of interesting. This rose gray haze. I don't want gray though, but it looks very interesting. Let's put it in anyway. Okay, and let's render. And I don't like the gray, but we could kind of change the gray here, I think, to purple. See, this doesn't work. Green. Yeah, it's like the color selector doesn't work. It's like, you see, it just doesn't work. It's like I'm over here and it's changing the colors to the, you have to find out where it's getting gray there. It certainly isn't getting the colors from here. See this little color thing? So it seems as though that it's over here maybe. There, we got pink, purple. Let's change this to that color, and then we bring it over here and we can get a green. No. All right, let's just try that. Okay, so this isn't working. So, yeah, it's just all kinds of stuff that's not working right in this program. And, okay, panoramic projection. Let's see what happens when we do that. Okay, we get this very large image. It looks like an HDRI. And then what we'll do is render it. Now you see this should like marry together. All right. So we're going to go export image. No, we're going to render this. Render to disk. Okay. Output size. Let's go. We don't want 800 by 480. We would like something more like in the line of, let's see, 4,000. Okay, let's try that. 5 by 13 by 3. I don't think that we want that. X. Okay, let's go up to here. File. Document setup, I think it would be. What would it be? Panorama. There we go. Something like that. And we'll go with 3 like that. And then that's our document setup. Okay, and then we go to export. When we go to export, render to disk. Yeah, we should have that. And this is where we should be able to change this to like 6,000. Yeah. And where are we going to render it? To, do we want a bitmap? I guess we don't have a choice. I guess we do. What would be, I don't see HDR. Okay, HDR. Okay. 90 bits, 96 bits per pixel. All right, and we're going to save it on the desktop, and we'll call this Bryce Sky. .hdr. And this may take a long time. See, because this is just using 4 of my cores. So like 6 hours later. So we go to Ultra Scenery 2. Which one is Ultra Scenery 2? This is this. And let's put in, I don't want water here. So we're just going to go with, now we're going to pick an ecology preset, I guess. That'll work. We'll go with I think I want to use one of these legacy ones. Classic content. We don't want any features. We just, okay. Where's the Britain one? That's like one of my favorite ones. Dry swamp, willows, Australia, Britain. Let's try one of these. See what we get. All right. And you're kind of stuck with what you get. Though you can turn stuff off in the render. Okay, we're not going to need river pebbles. Okay, and I don't have a camera in my scene, so I may have just crashed my computer. It's not going to let me put all this because I don't even have a camera in my scene. It may use the default perspective, the perspective view. It's freaking out. I don't think it'll let me cancel this. Close that. It's not going to let me cancel that. I forgot to put a camera in the scene. Thank you for the likes, people. For the likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have not eaten today, which is okay. My body doesn't deserve food. It's making me fat. Okay, I'm surprised this is going to even work at all. So, we have it all turned off in the in our viewport. So it might actually come out of it. But now we can't, you see, this is the thing, is that this Ultra Scenery 2, you can't do the stuff with this. So maybe we won't use any trees. We'll just put trees in by hand. I'll just put in trees, because, you know, how many trees are we going to want? 5, 2 or 3? We don't want to block the whole background here. So it looks like it's going to allow me to do this now. So, but what I need to do now is create a new camera. We'll copy this perspective view. And then we will go to Ultra Scenery and go up to the top here, and we'll select this camera. Now it should regenerate the scene. But maybe we're not that lucky here. Let's pick a different Britain. This one. And now it should use the camera to culling the camera. So these mountains here we created in Bryce. Let's see what Bryce is doing. Did it crash? Yeah, it crashed. So yeah, we're not even going to get a export Bryce. It's, look at this land that it was created. And I could probably, on this Ultra Scenery XT, add some. We've got our terrain here. One of these, I think it's just this. We could just add a little bit of smoothing to it. I don't think we need it. I think those. So now we go back into our Ultra Scenery 2. And let's put on some. Now we can. I can't delete these things here. You would think you could delete some of these things from here. All we need, I guess, is the grass tufts. We don't even need them here. Let's just see. Let's turn all these off in the render. The river rocks, river pebbles, river grass, road pebbles. We don't have road. Base verge, base leaves. Okay, long grass. We don't want these. Grass tufts are good. We don't. That's the verge that goes around the road. Oaks. We'll turn off the trees. We'll put our own trees in. Leaf litter. Okay, these are for the road. The bracken, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so it might be like ferns. It looks like there's ferns in here or something. Let's see what this goes on. So what's wrong? Okay, I think, why don't we have anything here? Okay, it may be because of all that crashing that went on in the background. Oh, here we go. It hasn't given us an iteration yet. So I had to pick the hard way of doing this by using. Well, okay, look what we got here. I think the bracken is the what's got to go. Okay, because I think it's all this fern stuff. Okay, so this doesn't look bad. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to work. I think it's the bracken. That's what we get rid of here. And let's say grass tufts is good. Long grass, base verge. I'm not sure what that is either. But we'll leave it and see what happens. Okay. Now we'll turn on, let's see what base verge looks like when we turn it on in render. I don't think it'll show except in iRay. Maybe it'll show in iRay, maybe not. Okay, it says base verge is 0. So whatever that base verge is, it's not even a thing. Probably because I don't see all of these are at 0, like the grass top verge, because there's no road, and so is these leaf litter, which were for the roads, and I think also the river rocks are at 0. So it's nice that it's smart enough to know that we don't have a road or anything. Okay, so I think this will work. Let's check this out now and see if all those ferns are gone. I think the bracken is. It's like the forest, all the things that are kind of taller than the grass and stuff. It's all that kind of bracken. I guess that's what it would be called, which would be ferns and things like that. Here we go. All right, this looks pretty good. So, you know, now this is a piece of terrain that we created in Bryce. And how long you'll be able to do that, I don't know. Maybe a few more years and things will change so much that Bryce won't work at all. Okay? So, God forbid, don't buy it, you know. Don't buy Bryce. Don't let me be the one to get you to buy it, because it's on its way out. It's been neglected to the point of it not even working hardly at all. But look at the beautiful terrain that it gave us, you know. Look at the terrain in the back that it gave us. So it gave me this ability to just completely, really kind of create whatever I wanted here. All right, so we've got this, and now let's put some trees, close. Let's now play around with our Ultra Scenery XT. And let's... What happened to... Okay, it's here. I keep doing that. Yeah. So we create a biome for our Ultra Scenery XT. We got to save this. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, Bryce crashed trying to make a 4K sky. Now, okay, I just realized that now the maximum altitude that the altitude, I was trying to change the altitude by using these erosion things. We have it right here. The maximum altitude 100, minimum altitude 25. We could bring this up to maybe 20 and see what happens. See what happens. It should bring the bottom up a little higher. And that did something. And how about if we bring it up to, let's go to, oh, we brought it up to minus 20. Okay, let's minus 2. Let's see what happens. It probably will bring this up too high, but I could bring it down maybe a little. It's 100 meters. It did bring that up too high. I don't know what it did. So, but we've got to go to like 10, minus 10 at least. See what we have. We might have to go to minus 15. Well, that works. So we have a little bit more. This is a beautiful piece of land. So, yep. Is it worth to invest US 2 if I own the first one? Thanks in advance. Yes, it's definitely worth investing in US 2. And as you can see, I don't have Daz doesn't pay me. If I certainly wouldn't go on a big rant about Bryce if if they were paying me. I can be bought. I'm just kidding. But yeah, the reason why it's better to it's good to invest in Ultra Scenery 2 right now. It's on sale. At some point, it might go down in price. When it goes down, yes, grab it because it's easier. You have culling, like you see when Ultra Scenery brings like Ultra Scenery 1 will take these leaves and grass and bring them all the way down the hill in front of your camera. But Ultra Scenery 2 knows that your camera can't see that going down the hill. And so it stops putting the grass just as it goes over the hill. But Ultra Scenery 1 will bring that grass all the way down the hill and slow down your computer like to a crawl. Okay? So you can change and have larger scenes with Ultra Scenery 2. You can have larger ground planes if you have the computer to handle it. So there are a lot of reasons to have Ultra Scenery, to use Ultra Scenery 2. Ultra Scenery 2, now let's go into this a little bit here. What's nice is that you can, in Ultra Scenery 1, you can't see your grass and things like that in texture shaded mode. You have to go into iRay. Ultra Scenery 2, you can turn things on and off like really easy right in the program and see them right in texture shaded mode. They're kind of, they're not really that pretty in texture shaded mode, but you can actually see them in texture shaded mode. So yeah, there's just so much, and you build your scene gradually. Like with Ultra Scenery, it's just like you kind of pick the land, pick this, and pick the biome, and pick the water, and then you generate, and it kind of all happens at one big thing and dumps all of this geometry into your scene. But with Ultra Scenery 2, it dumps it into the scene, but it leaves it all kind of turned off, and you can slowly turn things on and off, and you can just kind of work on the grass and work on the tufts and work on the seed of the tufts, and it's just so much better. And you can still use, and then you can click the land, and you can still use like ultra scatter on the land and add other things to it. So it's just so much easier. The thing is that are the add-ons from the first one compatible with 2? They're halfway compatible. Like, see this grass and these leaves and the pattern. Like this is, I'm using the Bracken. See this? I'm using the Bracken ecology. You can't do the same things with the ecology that you can do. Like it just works the same way Ultra Scenery kind of does. Ultra Scenery 1, it just kind of goes in and that's it. But you can't do the same things that you can do with the Ultra Scenery 2, and you only get a few. You only get a few like biomes that work with Ultra Scenery 2 so far. We'll have to buy them, the add-ons, you know, you only get so many with Ultra Scenery 2, but you can use your old ones, but you don't have the flexibility with the old ones. You have the same amount of flexibility you had with Ultra Scenery 1, but you don't have the flexibility you have, because Ultra Scenery 2 gives you all this added flexibility. And so they're going to come out with a bunch of new add-ons that will give you that added flexibility. They'll probably redo all of these old ones, and they'll just say, okay, well, here's the Britain one, and here's the, you know, and you probably, and Daz will probably say, well, because you own this old one, we'll give you a deal on this. And so there's just so much more you can do with the scene, the ground, the land, changing the way the land looks, things like that you can't do with Ultra Scenery 1. So, and it's much easier on your computer. Ultra Scenery 1 just kind of like you put it in your scene, and your scene just slows to a crawl, and you can barely just get it to turn and go back to texture shaded mode or whatever. It's like it just doesn't even want to go to texture shaded mode. You have to sit and wait for 10 minutes just to get it to go to texture shaded mode. So, and then you just kind of want to turn the whole thing off, you know. But with Ultra Scenery 2, you can turn on just the grass, or you can turn off and work with the grass, and then work with this and work with that. And then in the end, you pull it all together by clicking on render. And it's really, really nice. And this does, you know, like this is right in Ultra Scenery 2 that I can say, okay, show the leaves, show the long grass in the render. Is it going to show in the render? I think it will see, it's showing the old, this is, now, and if I go into, now this is an iRay. And it's not really showing an iRay, because I think I have it turned off. Now, if I go to texture shaded mode, all right, you can actually see the grass here. It's not all the grass, because it kind of cuts some of it out so that it doesn't crash your computer, but it shows you kind of what the grass is doing. And if I click on this iRay preview, it will show you, so like Ultra Scenery 1 won't show you any of the grass or any of that stuff in texture shaded mode. It will only show you it in iRay. And this is what's kind of nice, is that you can come down here and you can turn on and off elements. Yeah, so yes. So you can turn on and off elements. See in this thing, so I have all of the things that I don't like, the waterway, the river pebbles and all of that. I have them turned off in the render, and because I don't have any river in here, I can turn all of these things off right in the render. You don't have to go back and reopen Ultra Scenery and like re-render it with those things gone. You can just turn them off. And so this is to turn them on and off in the render itself, and this is to turn them on and off in the viewport. So that, you know, it's just massively better on your computer. And like I said, that culling thing, you see this backface culling? You can only do that like these, like when you use the classic ecologies. This grass is going to go all the way down the hill and all the way into the back, to the back, because it's in front of the camera. But when you use the actual biomes or ecologies that come with Ultra Scenery 2, you can, for each thing, you can click on this backface culling, You can click here, and like if it's for like each layer that's in it, like the grass or the rocks or the trees, and it will, as they go down the hill, if they're not visible to the camera, you can they won't populate them in your scene. That is a huge thing that allows you to bring much more into your scene with your video RAM, because it's not adding all these unnecessarily objects that are not even visible in front of your camera. So it also does it around you and around the back, but you can also tell it to do it in. You can add this back face culling, which is really nice. So those things alone should be you should just rush right out and buy it. This is very, very nice, and you don't have to go back and constantly redo ultra scenery. Go back and it's always like right here where you can just work on the grass or work on this and go back in at any time. You just click on ultra scenery and all your parameters are right here. So it's really nice. It's very nice to work with. And so this is the bottom part where we're using classic content, but I can also mix other content in with it. So I could just say this biome here, click on biome, and then I can add the Ultra Scenery 2 content, and we could just go and say, how about the trees? Because I didn't use the other trees, so let's find some trees. And we'll go and add these trees here. So we'll add some aspen, and it's going to add a whole forest full of them. But and it will add probably, I don't know, 100 trees just in front here. It won't do the culling until you select that. But look what it did. See, it didn't put them in the scene. It added 1,000 trees. But you see this viewport? It's turned off. It knows not to put them in the viewport, until I get a chance to turn off the back face culling, and then lower the density and say I don't want 1,097 trees. Let's bring it down to, let's see, you lower this density a little bit. Let's even 200 is too many. Let's still go to 144. Now we can turn it on and see what this looks like. And still, that might be a few too many, but look at how that much easier. Look how quickly, and they don't show up as like blobs in ultra. They show the actual trees. They show right up in texture shaded mode and in iRay. So we can go right here and check this out in iRay. And now so those things alone are reasons to they're just massive reasons to now I think I have stuff turned off here. I have the grass turned off down here. There's stuff I have. Let's see, down in the bottom here. What happened? Yeah, I only have one thing turned on, I think, in here. Yeah, I turned off the base verge and I turned off the base leaves. And I turned off. So you don't have to have them on here because in the actual iRay, you can just have them show up. And there was also... where's the long grass? Where's the grass? Yeah, test products. Well, I don't know that it's. I think because right now I really haven't had it crash on me. So, grass tufts. We'll put the grass tufts in. And, so this put a bunch of leaves in here. Now, remember, we don't have our HDRI is this really kind of sterile HDRI in our background. We don't even have it turned on in the background. So it's not really doing a lot for the Bracken. We don't want the Bracken. This particular thing doesn't have grass, actually. So, field base leaves, it's just got leaves. Oh, and it, like this grass here, it's not showing all the grass. It only, because I think when you come up in here, you can say how much you want it to show. Like it's not going to show all of the, because when you go up here where it says preview density, you could say, well, show me all the forest, but for the field, only show me 10%, and for the grass litter, which would be the leaves, only show 10%, so that it doesn't bog your computer right down. You can say how much you want in your preview, which is really, really nice. So yeah, all of this is part of this. Now, I'm going to turn this stuff off because I don't really need it right now in my, this is how you do it. You just turn it off in your, because it's okay. We'll have it in the final render. I do have Physio. I'm not sure how to say that. I do have it, and I do plan to do a video on it. I have to remind myself what I think it has to do with water, or was that the one with the animating soft bodies? I think, yes, I have that slated to do a tutorial on that. I think that's the one, or that might, okay. Yes, I do plan to do it, yes. You have been watching my tutorials. Yeah, physics simulator and soft bodies, definitely. And I have the add-ons also. See, I own both of these. They have little clouds next to them. So definitely we will, I've never seen this one, this Distinctive Impressions brush collection. This is nice. Those are nice. I will add that to our buy list. Photoshop brushes, so hopefully it's not so old that it doesn't even load. ABR, I think they load, ABR files load in the new DAS. I think that's the .abr. Photoshop collection for Photoshop 2023. Okay, so yeah. All right, I don't know why I never saw that, but I think it's new. No, it's not new, but it's 2023. Yes, so we will be working with that. We'll be going over everything to do with the physics simulator and soft body add-ons. I'm glad you reminded me about that. So yes, we will. Definitely. So, all right, let's go back in here. Well, thank you very much for reminding me. Very, very much. And, okay, so we have all of this turned off right here in our, but what we can do, the grass tufts, let's see, birch seedlings, we don't need those. And the bracken, we don't want that. And now what we could do is add grass to it also, but we're not going to do that right now either. But what we could just come in and add grass and then do the same thing, do the back face culling, and then come down here and just lower the density so there's just a little bit of grass here and there. That is what we can do with this. And we just click add here, and we see the different kinds of grass that it comes with. And you just add the grass, and then you have leaf litter Okay, here, I can't get it to stop on the right one. Here, okay, forest litter, that's all leaf litter. You can have verge litter that just goes around the road. That kind of stuff. You can add these things, and then you can decide how little. This is river pebbles. You got different kinds of river pebbles. You got river logs. You got the grass, riparian. Now I know riparian or thing. I'm not sure what that is, but I guess that's what this is. I've never really, every time I've seen that I've just always wondered what it was, but that's what it is, I guess. And we've got stones, and we've got other kind of grasslands. These more riparian that goes around. So that's stuff that goes around the river. And so, yeah, you can add these things. I'm not going to add grass to this right now, but I kind of think it's missing. But all right, let's now put some trees up on our back. This plane, both of these pieces of land, the land part, were made in Bryce, and then I exported them out of Bryce and into DAZ. Luckily, it didn't crash when I was doing that. So, yeah, thank God for small favors here. So we now go into our Ultra Scenery XT. I have added the terrain. You have to remember to click on, it's a different tab for Ultra Scenery XT. So we come down here. We have these beautiful mountains. The biomes should be there. And restrict to current camera. And that all looks good. So we could try and do a render and see what we have here. I keep thinking there's something I'm missing. Height map. We've got it using a strata, displace, water. I don't need water right now, I don't think. We could put a big lake that would kind of appear above this, maybe. But I'm not going to do that. And the biome. And I could pick a different biome. I usually like to make the scale 0.5 of the trees, but we'll see what happens. So let's give it a render. And we should see, okay, I know what I did. I didn't set the elevation for the trees. They're either going to work or not work. So yes. Here we go. Look at that. See, we got trees here. You know, something tells me that I'm not using this right, but because like I'm not getting beautiful colors out of it looks like it's the top of the mountain texture. And I'm just really not getting a kind of mountainous texture. It's like the gray should be all up here, and then this should be kind of like a different color. And I'm not good at getting the color. And it's probably somebody's looking at me and saying, going to look at this and say, haha, he doesn't know how to get the textures right on the land, because it should only be kind of like rocky up on these parts up here. And then it should start to turn like maybe brownish or like another color. Maybe you could even have like snow on the caps. And then as it comes down, you slowly kind of get into some green meadow areas, and it's not doing that, and I'm not sure what I need to do to make it do that. I don't know everything about this, but I can get around, and I really should probably read. So we're only up to iteration 18. So, but yeah, something's wrong with this. Okay, and when I look at this here, we're in iRay here. Let's hopefully our iRay will click in. You can see a little bit of it happening, like in here. And maybe if I just change the texture of here, we have this terrain with resolution. We have a very high resolution, the highest resolution you can go with it. And I'm surprised it's even okay. So if we change this material to something else, maybe we'll get, because this looks like, you notice how it's kind of like rocky up there. And then it kind of, now we got something a little bit better. Yeah, so maybe it's the material that I picked. So we just have some rocky areas, and then our trees, when they come in, they're going to know where to kind of go. Yeah. I love this part of this. Because, it's like, or what could have is just a bunch of, all like one color rock, and Ultra Scenery XT is smart enough to know. Now, see, that works for my brain, okay? So now when we go to render this, the trees will hopefully be in these kind of greener areas. It'll just look like more natural. This is beautiful here. It looks really natural, and when we render it, because you have to render it to see the trees in Ultra Scene. I will say also, Pavel, I think that's maybe how you say your name. Pavel. I think that's the name Paul, but I'm not sure. That's a beautiful name. I think I would also recommend purchasing Ultra Scenery XT. So, and I personally, I don't know for sure, but I don't, and the thing is that, now look at this. See what we have here? We have these trees now following. It just looks much better than that other mountain did. But the thing is, I can change I may not, like the way the trees are here. And I think the trees are a little too large, but this is a very nice kind of scene now. And now we go here to cancel this. And what we can do now, we have in Ultra Scenery XT, we have the 100 and minus 25. And you see our land only goes to minus 10. So let's make the trees stop at minus 10 instead and see what happens. And maximum altitude is 100. We don't want trees on the tippy top. Okay, so because they don't grow up that high. So our maximum altitude is 100. So let's go up to 90 for our maximum altitude for the trees. And I'm going to say for the scaling of the trees, I think they were looking a little too big. For this mountain is far, far away, okay? So I'm going to, and the smallest you can go with the trees is 0.5. Which I kind of wish you could even go smaller, but. And I think I'm going to just change the seed to something else. Let's go. Yeah, just a different seed. Current camera. We got the current camera. We're not going to use a mask. All right. And so now let's go out of iRay. It might help it might render faster if we're not in iRay. So I've just got our figure in the scene, to give us an idea of perspective. Save. Let's save this. I have not saved in a while. So yes, 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 yes. So this in the background is our Ultra Scenery XT. It gives you distant, far distant mountains. Okay, so we're going to try to render this. Our trees should be tinier. They should probably be laying across the mountains a little bit better because I kind of resituated them by changing the seed, and and they shouldn't go up so high. They should be little tiny trees so it should get the perspective proper. And if remember, they were going down much further, so the trees shouldn't be as large here. So we shall see. I need to drink some water. I've been talking a lot. So what do we have here? Let's see. Yeah. It's not perfect. It's not exactly what I was kind of expecting, but it kind of works. I like the fact that it didn't cover this little trail that's coming down. You just change the seed. Now, cancel this. What would be nice is if Ultra Scenery XT gave us that same. They're going to upgrade. I think Ultra Scenery XT will get an upgrade, and we will probably be able to see the biome, at least some kind of representation of our biome and turn it on and off like we have with Ultra Scenery 2, because I think they've learned a lot of stuff. And it may have to do with iRay and DAS upgrading things and allowing certain kind of proprietary things to go out into the world and actually benefit us people buying this stuff. So, okay, so would you like to cancel the render? Yes. I don't really care for this seed right here, so we're going to just try a different seed. I wish there was a way to see it, but there isn't. Okay, so, but we'll just try a different seed. And minimum slope and all of this, maximum altitude, that's all correct. It didn't go up to the top of the mountains, and that's what we wanted. So, all right. So did I save this again? I'm not sure that I'm going to like this seed here, but it's okay. I can just switch it to a different one. So let's do something with our guy here, or let's take him out and put some kind of shack here or something, some kind of let's take Dalton. Okay, let's put a fence, like a dilapidated, broken down old fence. Let's see what we have here. Sinuses are all stuffed up with allergies here today. So, okay, so we go here to Files, Default Fence, FENCE. And we are looking for dilapidated old rundown fence. Let's try this. Before the sky, there are no fences facing. Let's do this, like that. Edit, duplicate. Go like that. And we rotate it like this. That doesn't work. Delete. Okay, let's just use one. And we'll Z. Don't move the ground. Okay, delete that. Select the fence. Now what if we do something like this? Kind of bury it into the ground a little bit. I don't know if that works. We have some other fence things. Okay. I have this product that you can literally generate fences, like a picket fence around a house and all. It's like the fence generator. It's called Fence It or something Fence. It's a nice program. I don't use it very often. I usually just try to find a fence. Here we go. And we could use this. And we go like here. And then this one. Maybe we'll straighten that up a little bit. And bring it up. Bring these up. Habib, welcome, welcome. It's very nice to have you here. Very nice. I hope you are doing well today. Welcome, welcome. Very nice. We are working with Ultra Scenery 2 again today with Ultra Scenery XT. Let's see what this does for our image. Yes, we have 4 people here now. I've been here for a while, and we're starting to pick people up. About two. I've been here a couple of hours. I went on a big rant about poor Bryce and how Daz has neglected Bryce for so many years, and somebody's got to do it. Yeah. Okay, that's what I do. I kind of like just roll with it. We have 5 now. Crypto X, welcome, welcome, welcome. We got Pavel, and we have Angus here, and Crypto X, and Habib. And I'm not sure who else, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Very nice to have you here. So we got rid of our guy in the Bahama shorts, and we're gonna try these fences and see what this looks like. Let's save it. I don't know that the fences are gonna work. And it's like, what good is a fence if it's all broken down? Somebody tried to repair it with some logs. It keeps the large and the elk out, out of the backyard. Yeah. Let's see. So now we're going to click on our environment options, and let's find an HDRI. I tried to render one in Bryce, but it crashed. So save this again. Let's see what we got for a sky now. It's going to change this scene radically, putting a pretty... you were messing with Blender. Well, that's good. That's good. I spent some time in Blender like a week ago, at least a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago. Spent another whole day in Blender. But, then all of a sudden I found out, okay, Daz is getting Mesh Grabber 4, and we're going to have, I've got the hiccups now, we're going to have mesh smoothing tools. It's like, okay, I don't need Blender anymore. So, yeah. All right, let's do a quick render on this. Well, let's go into iRay and see what iRay. It's not going to show me the grass and all that stuff, but it will show me a good amount what my sky is doing to everything here. This could be a night scene. I'm not sure. Well, it's not too bad. It's not very bright though. But let's spin it around a little bit. Dome rotation. That's not bad. It's not very bright. It's not doing what I want it to do. It's a pretty sky, but it's just not giving me a lot of light. I could turn it up a little more, but then I think it would make the clouds kind of become too contrasty. Too much contrast. Now remember, when you see these HDRIs, no matter how advanced other software, DAS will always be needed. It doesn't, let's see what this does here. One of these economy skies. They're probably not 4K, but let's see what it looks like here. All right, that's kind of interesting. Let's see what happens when we rotate this dome around. Well, we got something going on here. This is kind of nice. Oh, look at this. Let's do a render here. Save this. This is kind of pretty. It looks like we have a scene, people. It looks like we have a scene. Now, could that be any... there we go. Look at this beautiful scene. Now, we don't have enough trees in here, okay? These trees, they're very distant and everything. There's just not enough on the hills, okay, and all. I think I'd like to have a little bit more tree. So we'll just change the seed on that. Would you like to cancel this render? Yes, yes, yes. So we have, okay, we close this down a little bit here. I think I'm going to pull this fence, number 2. We'll pull this over a little bit more. Like that. And then we'll bring it a little more, so the mice can get in The squirrels. All right. And so now we are going back to, if I can get, among rendering software, Dad stands out to do his unique features called pixel filter radius. Unfortunately, I haven't found an equivalent in Blender. Yes, Daz is. I agree, Habib, that Daz is a superior render than Blender, and everybody talks about how awesome of a renderer Blender is, and it's Cyclone. It just doesn't. It doesn't. I don't believe that. It's just that the Daz environment and the way all of their textures and the iRay environment and the PBR environment and the way it's so cohesive and also time saving, where you just put your figure in and it's like kind of ready to go. Not really. You usually have to mess with their skin color tone a little bit, mess with their give them freckles and things like that, so they don't look too, maybe some blush, things like that. Yeah, but it's not at all like Blender, where you could spend 2 days working with nodes just trying to create a marble texture. It's just yeah. There's just no comparison where you can just go into your shaders and pick a marble texture. Yeah, Blender has a long way to go to catch up with Daz. But Daz has a long way to go to catch up with many of the things in Blender as well. So it's just you can create many of the things that you buy in the Daz store were created in Blender. So there you go. Now we're just going to click this Ultra Scenery XT, click down here, and we're just going to change the seed of our biome. Let's bring it down here to something low. And that will change the arrangement of the, you got a million seeds, so you have a million possibilities for changing the arrangement of the trees on the land, different patterns. And now we also have the ability to use masks. And what the mask would do, I'm not mask none. If you load a mask in here, and you change and put I think like white, it would be black and white. So any place that would be, I think black. Well, I'm not sure. Except one of them. If you get it wrong, you can just invert it. But if it's like white, then that's where all the trees go. And if it's black, there's no trees. It might be the opposite. But you just load the map in, and if it's not in the right place, you bring it back into Photoshop, and you just keep moving the circle around where you want where you don't want trees. And it will, so if I didn't want trees, say, coming down through here, then I could just put a mask on the image, and it would only put trees where there's black, and it won't like put them everywhere. It's just gonna still use the seed, but it will just block it from putting trees, say, in this area. I'd kind of rather not. It'd be nice if the trees kind of went along the path, so I could take and put a mask where just this little path had no trees. That would be kind of interesting. So now let's do another quick render here, and see what our seed looks like. Seed number 2500. Habib, unless you're planning on making, figures, making characters, selling clothes, selling objects, selling scenes that you make, I wouldn't even waste my time in Blender. It's just because but it's fun. It just for the fun factor alone, Blender is fun, especially just a moment. Especially like using diffeomorphic and exporting an entire scene into Blender and just kind of playing around for a day. But if you've invested a good amount of money on DAZ assets, props, figures. Look at this. Now we've got this. This is nice. The trees, I think I can live with the trees there. So if you've invested a good amount of money on DAZ assets, I would just kind of use Blender as a novelty. Go in and I mean, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to render your DAZ scenes in Blender? Don't. Don't do that, because it's just look at what we have here in DAZ. Render them in DAZ. If you need to go into Blender and create something like a watering can or or a beach ball or something, bring it into DAZ. Yeah, fine. And then if that's the case, if you're going in there and modeling and creating things like boxes of donuts and table food, spaghetti dinner or something, food items or clothing or anything, then yes, then I would say spend all your time there and sell those items in the DAZ store. Become part of their pantheon of artists that do that. But if you're buying up all kinds of things, clothes and hair and figures and stuff like that, chances are you're an artist, one who just takes all the stuff they make. It's like, I don't want to spend 2 days making these fences in Blender, or a week making fences. For Cascadeur for animation and Blender for physics simulations. I'm not going to criticize any of that, because like going into Blender and playing with physics simulations, you're learning, and learning, and Cascadeur, you're learning animation, which are tools that are very vital to us artists, because eventually DAZ will catch up with animation, and anything you learn for animation in Cascadeur, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Cascadeur, I'm not familiar with that, or anything you learn about physics simulations in Blender will be transferable into DAZ. So eventually, if they ever catch up with that stuff. So is there any 3D product that gives characters expressive eye wrinkles, such as those seen when a person laughs or closes their eyes? Yes, there are. You have Aging Morphs. Let's see. You go into here, Aging. Let's see. Aging. I don't think I bought them, but here you go. Aging Morphs for Genesis 9. Yeah, I did buy them. And here you go. Your eye wrinkles and all of this. So you can pick how much you want for this. Yeah. For the whole body. Yeah. And how that actually works, I don't know. I don't know if this is some kind of, this is by Zevo, if this uses like a shell that goes over the body. Aging Morphs is an extensive morph package that gives you the power to transform your character into an elderly figure. Make sure so you can add how much you want of these things: glute, posture, arms, body, breasts, details, neck details, fine wrinkles for the neck. You like this image? I think we've got something nice going on here. Yeah, it's got some interesting stuff here. Yes, you can, Habib. So yes, that's and it's not that's not the only product. There may be other products also. This is one of them for Genesis 9, and they also have them for Genesis 8. Aging Morphs, okay? So aging face details. Here's another one. These are separate products. Okay, and look at we have, oh, these are both made by the same person, and it gives you all of these details that you can just apply immediately onto your figure. So they'll look like me. So yeah, yeah. So you can add them to your figure. These are just sliders that, but you can also add them on. Over 40 morphs for customization. I own these as well. So I never use them. I'm always trying to bring my care, and then Auto Life for Genesis 8 females. So then it goes back. The skin detailer is a huge one right here. This gives your skin massive, massive detail. So these are Aging Morphs for Genesis 8 female, Aging Morphs for Genesis 8 male. I bought these for Genesis 8 male and have never used them. I'm usually trying to bring my characters the other way to try and make them look as youthful and as attractive as possible. Not to say that, aging and all is bad or anything. But yes, you're very welcome, Habib. I hope I just saved you like 10 days in Blender. Yeah. So, yeah, you can do this right. Usually, most things you can do right in Daz. This is a really good product. Look at this right here. These this skin stuff is just amazing, and you can bring the maps right into Photoshop and work with them, or they've got some presets that you can use right in Daz. But it just you can set how much of this stuff you want to use on their face, but it gives you the ability to just take that like really kind of perfect skin, that look that doesn't look real, and just give it a little bit. You don't have to have it this extreme, but it just gives you the ability to really come in and add a little bit of stuff to their face. So, freckles, you got pores. You can give them more pores. Dark and light molting mix with no overlays. And then you can go freckles and vein, and you can say how light or dark you want them to be. And these are all of the layers. You got veins under the eyes, moles all over, and you can decide where the moles go, everything. It's just literally you have all these seeds that change where they go, and it overlaps. You know how there's like a layer here where the neck you know, cuts around that the neck is one whole section, and these, well, it perfectly lays over the different areas of the skin. So that's another thing. It's just amazing. This has been overdone. They've like added it to make it look, you know, exaggerated, you know, so that you know, you can kind of get the idea of what you can do. So this looks very realistic. This is kind of like exactly what it does. This is an amazing product right here. This skin detailer, I use this a lot because I will just like, there's this one setting that just, it's a lot less than this, but it's the, you know, like setting number 1, and it just gives them you know, a little bit of kind of ruddiness so their skin isn't so perfect. So that you can use that then on, and it's for PBR. This is all PBR. What it does is it puts a bodysuit over their skin. There's a 50-minute tutorial is also included, an hour long. This is amazing. This is a really, 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 really good program. Very, very, very huge resource that I use a lot. Almost every time I have a figure in the scene, I'll use like their basic, just one click, and it makes their skin a little bit less than quite a lot less than this, but it gives them some texture to their skin that especially from a distance, it works so well. So wait till it's on sale. That's all I can say. So none of these are on sale right now, so don't buy them until they're on sale, because you can get these things for under $10 each. I did. That's how much I'm sure that I didn't. I'm absolutely sure that I only paid like, you know, $8 for them, maybe even less, maybe even $5. Because I wouldn't buy these Aging Morphs. Like I said, I'm usually trying to get my character to look as you know, like this character rather than this one. So you know, it's just to try and make my figures look really attractive. And so I usually am going the other direction with them. And like Michael 9 has these little kind of wrinkles in his. It just bothers me to no end, those 2 little wrinkles there. They just really bug me, and I can't figure out how to get rid of them sometimes. And so you know, I spend like an hour trying to get rid of them. So it's just certain things like that. So I'm the opposite, where I'm glad that most of the figures that I purchase just don't have any wrinkles at all, and I can just kind of work with them right the way I want them. So, and then but I do add a little bit of detail to kind of make their complexion a little bit looking, so it's not too perfect. It's not so like one color. And then I'll also add like blush, a little bit of like, so that they have a tiny bit of redness in here. So I'll do that also. And that's another product called Blush. The one for Genesis 9 is called Blush. Where is it? Here it is, this product. This is on a 50% off sale right now. If you do not own this product, buy it today, okay? Learn to use it. Now, they've accentuated, but they give you blush for their neck, okay? And they give you blush for the face. And just imagine this face right here, this kind of clammy looking skin. And these are horrible characters. There's something wrong with the hair. This is a terrible render. I'm sorry. It's a terrible render, but this product works, okay? And it works really well. And you just bring the blush down until you to the level you want it to be, okay? But like I said, they exaggerated a little bit to make it so that you see what you're kind of getting. But these are, yeah, see, this is your figure without it. And that's stronger than I would have made it. Now, her face is not too bad here. But you just bring it down. This is a little stronger than I would have used, okay? So, and his skin is too blue. So you first of all, they should have taken the blue down out of his skin, okay? So it's just way too blue. It doesn't go well with that blush. All right. So, but this, you got all these different blush patterns, okay? So, and you can, like, you got ones that are just the cheeks that come up here, or you can that run across the cheeks and the nose. You have forehead blush, you have chin blush, you have neck blush, and you have blush in here too. They give you all these different effects. And usually all I need is a tiny bit. This is like way, way, way too much. It's just a tiny bit of the blush on the face, like this. Just a tiny bit here. And you see all the different patterns that they give you, just the nose, their eyes. You got also the neck, okay, and the neck. Because like when you have a Viking and they're out in the cold and everything, and they're coming up to you and you're this kind of close-up of their face, and you put some blush on their face and their neck is just like pure white, it doesn't look right. So I asked them when they made this product, I went in and I said, could you please give us the Genesis 9 blush product? Because for Genesis 8, it's called Flushed, which is another great product for Genesis 8. But I said, could you please give us neck blush? And I didn't ask for chest, but they went and gave us chest blush too. So, yeah, this is very important, the neck blush. So, because I tried making an image and I used just a little bit of red to make that Viking's face red, and his neck was like pure white. And it just didn't look right. So, now we have neck blush. And you can set it so faint that you can barely see it. So it's and what you can do, you have two presets. There's the brush one. There's also like stripes, and I never figured out what the stripes one is about. So you have all of these in a blush one, or you have it set in stripes, and I'm not sure what they're like, little stripes, and I'm not sure what that does. Okay, how to use the stripes? I've never figured out why it even exists, but the blush ones, you can change the color of the blush, make it a little more orange, make it a little more rosy, make it a little more purple, and you can make it as bright as you want it. Looks like you just used eye blush, like you can make their eyes just a little bit red, and I didn't even realize that. Yeah, this is a one for eyes. This is nice, and you can just set it as low as you want it to be. So, but you can also take these and make them emissive so that they actually give off light. So, and of course you want to, because the emissive ones are kind of the ones I use. I prefer the emissive ones over the non-emissive ones, but I just make it so that it's so very, 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 very light. So those are the best ones to use, are the emissive ones, but you decide. It's your product. This right now is on sale. It's $11. Buy it, okay? And especially if you have a few coupons, okay? This is a product I use almost every time I make figures, because I don't want that. I don't want this. I want something like this. And this is too much, okay? But like I said, they exaggerate it to just show that the product, because if it was just a tiny bit, you'd say, well, that's not enough. You know, if it's too much, you figure, oh, you could probably lighten it. So this is just horrible. And like I said, his face is too blue. So it should be less blue. There's too blue, okay? So yeah, just trust me, it's the blue. You just lower the blue a little bit in his face, and it would just, and then you decide if the green and red are balanced, okay? Because when you lower the blue, then you'll see more of the green and red, and you'll be able to tell if the green is too high or the red's not, or red's too high or whatever, once you lower the blue a little bit. But this is too blue. I know that kind of stuff. So they got her skin right. Her skin is right. It's a tiny bit blue, but not too bad. So but the and this would be so much better. The hair would be so much better if they had been able to use the new Omni hair. It wasn't available when they did this. So it's not absolutely horrible. It is kind of horrible, but still, the product itself is not horrible. The product does, it delivers. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It just really delivers. And I think that it was good that they did these gray ones here to kind of give you a really good idea of what you can do. These are geoshells, so it's a shell that lays over their skin and everything, and then you double click and you can just change these. And I think you can also pile them on top of each other. So you have to be careful if you keep adding them. It'll just put more on top of each other, and really you can make them like really strong just having one, or have it like so faint that you barely see it. Change the color. This would look really good if his skin wasn't blue. So this would look really good on him. So this is a very, very, very good product. I highly recommend it. It's a complete product. It has everything you need to give them color in their face. So it's a very, 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 still, it's just, this looks so good, other than that the fact that his skin is blue. So other than that, it's very, very good. So, and there are those little wrinkles in Michael's. They just had to show that. Yeah, that's just like impossible to get rid of. So, and then I had to click to expand it. So, but yep, this is a definite buy it, like right now. This is a buy today. Buy it today. Like I said, when you use it for every scene you make, okay, this is what we're talking about. It's like, because it just, all of a sudden it takes your character and gives them some color in their face, something, so that it's not just like one big yucky color, you know. It's just a very, very, very good product. So yep. And I mean, it's like, you know, this makeup system, you know, just, and all, if makeup is what you need, then you're going to go and get makeup for your characters. But like just having like this, this kind of like paint, like war paint kind of thing, that's a nice product, but how often are you going to use it? But this product right here, you're going to use almost every scene you ever made. You're just going to use it because you're going to want to give your character a little bit, just that little extra bit of color in their face. So, and you can look at this and say, see, they didn't use it here. They didn't use it here. You can see these images and say, now it looks like they used it here, See, something's up here. But this is makeup. This is a makeup thing. They didn't use it here. Okay, you can just tell. Now it looks like she's got something going on here. This is pretty nice, where she's got a little bit of red here, a little bit of something. Didn't use it here. You see, just a little bit of that, and it would work really perfectly with these makeup whatever they're, overlays or whatever they are. But her face needs a tiny bit of color. It does. And her face is too green, okay? Just too green. She's got too much green in the base of her skin. I can tell that, all right? But you learn to see the colors that she's got too much green in her face. You learn to see those things. Now, I mean, maybe her skin color is okay, but she has no pores. She has no freckles. It's just like there's no detail to her skin. And that's where the skin detailer comes in, because it just gives you enough of like imperfection to the skin to make it look real. This just looks cartoonish. The makeup is very nice, but the makeup, all this makeup is really good, because that's what females want. Now this is the blush effect, and this is the one that goes with Genesis 8, and this is on sale as well. But let me remind you, it doesn't come with neck blush or chest blush, okay? So all you get is here. You might get a forehead one. I don't think you get chin. So, and this is, again, the same people that made this. And so what's really, really nice, because I went to them, and I went to their looked for it. Took me like an hour to find their forum thread on this product, and I messaged her directly, sent her a direct message, and I said, could you please make the Genesis 9 blush product? And I said, could you also include neck blush? And she did, I think it's a female. Oh my gosh, did she ever deliver on that? It's just like, wow. The blush is amazing. So, the blush. So the other one is called Flushed for Genesis 8. It does work. It does at least give you some color in your Genesis 8 figures' faces. But the way that, and that does it with layers. In Genesis 8, it uses layers. But the way they made it for Genesis 9, where they use a geoshell, that is much, 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 much better. So it's so much easier than working with layers. So very nice product. The blush one. Yeah. So, and that's on sale right now, so I would grab that. I would grab that in a flash. I probably paid more than $11 for this. I probably paid 14 or 15 for it, because I had to have it the day it came out. Because number one, I asked for it, so I got it. And this is really a really nice product. So, yep, it gives you. And what's really nice is she's gone and put this blush on a figure that actually has like freckles and all. I don't know if she used the Genesis 9 skin for Victoria, but it's like a figure that actually has freckles already. So it was very smart. I think this figure looks really good. The hair looks just kind of weird, but messy. So in the eyebrows, it's just, I don't know. It all doesn't seem, but they're in a bright light, so it's very difficult to make figures. It's not terrible. It's not hideous. It's just But it shows the product off very well. But it doesn't show it off as good as this product really is. This product, you can achieve perfection with this product. So that's why I say, you know, it's like his skin is too blue, you know, and if it had just, and it might be a little too green too. So it's just right from the beginning, it just doesn't quite look right. So, all right. So we go back here and we have this still rendering. We're up to 239 frames. This is a pretty scene. I think we did something nice. It's a very low resolution. I'm wondering if I should put like a horse in front of this or something, or some crows on the. I thought about putting some crows on this thing here, some birds, birds sitting on them. I gotta go eat. I might come back later tonight. I don't know. Maybe do some more. It's 5 o'clock now. You know, there's a whole evening left. We could do something else. I don't know. Maybe work in physio or something. I'm not ready to work in physio because I have to actually learn how to use it. It's a bad idea for me to try to show you all how to use a program if I haven't even tried to use it myself. I've found that's, you know, I always say, well, I'll just learn it as I go. And it's like, no, that's not a good idea because I get frustrated and then I get, you know, flustered and, you know, and it's not a good thing to get that way. So, all right. Thank you, people. Take care. Habib, Crypto X. And I can't talk now here. Let's see. Let's go over to this other computer. And we had Pavel here. And Angus. Just a moment. Okay, I think I can talk now. Yes, we'd have Angus here. So thank you, people. Thank you for being here. Everybody is just out and about. It's probably out, beautiful day for a nice Sunday drive, or to be out on the lawn with a barbecue or something. Take care. Have a lovely rest of your day. And I will see you again in the next EZ3DTV tutorial. Please like and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. Leave comments if you'd like me to do something or work with a certain product. I will do that. And thank you for your questions. Thanks to the people in the chat today. I will see you again in the next tutorial. Bye-bye for now. Have a lovely day. Okay.